educator burnout and the complex systems-level variables influencing contemporary public education. Soul is reflected in how Danna honors the perennial wisdom traditions with a reverence for the art and ritual of gathering and holding sacred space for our lived experiences to be shared and for all participants to encounter the affirming power of community. We started with pilot sites for HTR in 2019, supporting early career educators, 50% of whom usually leave the profession within their first 5 years, and veteran educators who are particularly impacted by the rapidly escalating behavioral health needs of students today. Anecdotal feedback from educators was exceptionally positive, and worries that these peer support groups might devolve into prolonged venting sessions were alleviated when participants and facilitators quickly adapted to the norms, expectations, and structure of HTR. Little did we know how important it would be for us to build more capacity for nurturing a culture of care prior to March 2020. During the pandemic and ensuing global upheaval, virtual HTR groups and the 12 choices became a lifeline for dozens of educators, counselors, and administrators. This project also coincided with what would become the first biannual survey of more than 5,000 district staff on the topics of belonging, well-being, and staff relationships. Topics similar to those we started assessing with all of our students in 2018. The anecdotal data continued to reflect educators' profound appreciation for this resource. But now, that perceived impact had reliable, valid data to support it. Our pilot sites that continued regular HTR meetings in a virtual format had among the highest overall levels of staff well-being in the district and showed some of the most dramatic improvements in positive and challenging feelings from early spring 2020 to late fall 2020 and beyond. This further validated our belief that multi-tiered systems of support, MTSS, for students must be accompanied by multi-tiered systems of support for adult social-emotional learning and well-being. HTR provides us with an effective Tier 1-2 intervention to understand, support, and help retain our precious human resources. And we finally had a data-driven lever and a place to stand for advancing work that centers employee wellness as an essential driver of equitable student outcomes. I have served for more than 25 years at the intersection of education, mental health, and social-emotional learning as a counselor, teacher, school psychologist, adjunct instructor, and district administrator. During that time, I've burned out of 2 jobs, forgetting to care for myself with the same level of intentionality I aspire to care for others. I felt guilt, shame, and shades of imposter syndrome for not knowing better, especially given my training as a helping professional. I can't help but wonder if those episodes of burnout might have been prevented, or if finding joy again might have been easier if peer support groups like Happy Teacher Revolution had been available to me then. If you've ever struggled to say no without fear of relational repercussions, if you've ever felt guilty for going to the bathroom during the school day, taking more than 5 minutes for lunch, or not answering all emails within 24 hours, if you often feel emotionally and physically exhausted, if you've felt shame for not being all things to all people all the time, if you feel like you're in a near constant state of hustling to prove your worthiness, if you've ever wondered what it might be like to work in a truly collaborative community of practice where you can lean into your own sense of agency and self-determination, if you've ever wondered what it might be like to feel seen, heard, and valued at your school with no strings attached, then Danna Thomas is your person and HTR is for you. Chris Moore, Director of Mental Health and Social Emotional Learning, School Psychologist, Salem-Keizer Public Schools, Salem, Oregon. Introduction. My journey with the Happy Teacher Revolution movement began before I was a teacher, before anyone referred